Hello everyone, you're about to watch my pre-fight analysis of UFC 245. If you're going to be watching UFC 245, make sure to click the link in the description below to get your access to ESPN Plus. You need to watch this fight on ESPN Plus. ESPN Plus also has all sorts of other great content for UFC enthusiasts. You have Dana White's Contender Series, UFC Fight Nights, a whole host of UFC archived fights such as Greatest Fights in UFC, etc. Make sure to click on the link in the description and get access to UFC 245 happening this week, and of course all the other great content you will find on ESPN Plus. Now sit tight and stay tuned for my UFC 245 pre-fight analysis.
Hello everyone, welcome to the TriStar Gym channel. Today's episode is brought to you by ESPN Plus. If you want to watch the biggest card of the year, if you want to see Kamaru Usman take on Colby Covington, if you want to see Max Holloway take on Alexander the Great Volkanovski, if you want to see Amanda Nunez take on Jermaine Randomly, like I know you all want to watch, I'll be watching, we're all going to be watching. You're going to have to tune in to ESPN Plus on December 14th. 10 p.m. is the start of the main card, 10 p.m. Eastern time. I'm going to be watching. You're all going to be watching. And in this video right now, we're about to break down together, me and you. I got all your comments and questions. We're going to be breaking down the fights. I want to hear how you guys see it. I want to hear who you guys think is going to win. I'm going to be giving you guys my breakdown as usual. I'm going to jump into it right now. The main event, probably the most anticipated fight of the year. The two greatest active welterweights alive today, Kamaru Usman versus Colby Covington. What's going to happen in that fight? Guys, I got to tell you something. My favorite fights, like I always tell you guys, are fights where I have no idea what's going to happen. I look at one side, I look at the red corner, and I'm like, that guy's not going to lose tonight. And then I look at the blue corner, and I'm thinking, that guy's not going to lose tonight. And they're about to fight, and I'm like, I can't believe this is about to happen. And this is one of those fights. Kamaru Usman versus Colby Covington for me is practically a mirror match. Kamaru Usman's I think 15 fight win streak in UFC, something ridiculous, or 10 fight win streak, something absurd. But he's not just winning, he's just completely dominating every single fight. Like I've never seen a close Kamaru Usman fight. He fought for the world title in the welterweight division against Tyrone Woodley. All of you who saw that fight, it was a one-sided fight. I thought that was going to be a competitive fight, and I was thinking the world of Usman when that fight happened. I thought Usman is super, he's a super contender, but he made that fight look easy. He surpassed my expectations. I knew he was good. I didn't know he was that good. And now he's taking on Colby Covington, a man who won the interim title when he fought RDA. Another man who's on a 10-fight win streak, or I don't know how many fights. I've lost track. Every time I see Colby Covington in the octagon, he's winning, and he's winning in a dominant fashion. Now, he had one slip-up against Warlley Alves in Brazil. He got caught with a guillotine in round one. I think that was just it was a good fight. It was a fair opponent. He got caught, but that kind of thing ain't gonna happen twice. That kind of thing happens once in a while. And it happened to Colby Covington. It can happen to anyone. But if you were to put those two fighters again in the octagon, I think we all know what's going to happen. Colby Covington's going to come out on top. Why? Well, he's one of the most active fighters. I'm not talking about how often he's fighting, but I'm talking about when he's in there. He's one of the busiest fighters I've ever seen. In this last fight against Robbie Lawler, again, a one-sided fight. I remember that one of the stats was he set a record for most strikes thrown. 541 strikes, if I remember correctly. I don't know why that number stuck in my head, but it was 500 plus strikes thrown in the main event in New Jersey. I was there for that event. And Robbie Lawler is not the kind of guy you throw punches at for free. He'll throw missiles right back. But Colby Covington not only took him down repeatedly, he ground and pound him. And even on the stand-up, he was ultra busy. We've had stunning performances by both men over and over again. They've had common opponents in Damian Maia, RDA. Again, one-sided fight. Who's going to win between Colby Covington and Kamaru Usman? In my opinion, guys, I hate to play this card, but I see it as a 50 50 fight. And I won't do that to you often, okay? I won't give you that kind of odds very often. But I have to in this sense. I'll tell you why. For those of you who don't know, Colby Covington was a Division 1 champion. He's an elite wrestler. Usman was a Division 2 champion. So Colby Covington on paper is the more dominant wrestler. He's the more decorated wrestler. If you look at their fights, Colby Covington scores more takedown. Now, I don't have the exact statistics. I'm just eyeballing it here, but I've watched all their fights. And I could tell you, Colby Covington is more of a chain wrestler. He will get the fight to the ground more often than I would see a Kamaru Usman. However, in my opinion, this is not going to matter as much as it would in a wrestling match. Now, if I had to choose between these two in a pure wrestling match, I would choose Colby Covington. But Kamaru Usman's athleticism, his length, his reach, his distance, his style of punching, his style of striking, I should say. Because he's not just a puncher. He does throw knees, elbows, and kicks. He does. I think it's going to be a problem for Colby. Colby's a volume striker, a volume puncher. We know he's super busy in there. We know he's ultra aggressive. We know he's like a dog on a bone. He just doesn't give you any room to breathe. I think he's going to have trouble doing that to Usman. And because he has trouble doing that to Usman, he's going to have a hard time getting Usman to the fence. And therefore, he's going to have a hard time getting to his chain wrestling. If you look at Colby, when he was taking down RDA, he used a lot of chain wrestling. A lot of his maneuvers failed, but he kept chaining them together, until he caught a takedown or two on RDA. Now, in round 1 with RDA, he barely took RDA down. He got him down, and RDA got back up, and he got him down. He didn't really solidify a takedown and do anything on the ground. So, in my opinion, he's not going to get a takedown in round 1. If he couldn't take down RDA in round 1, I don't think he's taking down Usman in round 1. Now, I know a lot of you are like, Coach, MMA math never proves to work. And I agree with you. I don't think MMA math, if you beat one guy that another guy had lost to, that means you could beat that guy also. That's not true. We've seen that time and time again. But I still think that because watching him, how he took RDA down, watching his style that he used, I think won't get him a takedown in round 1 against Kamaru Usman. I don't think it will get him a takedown. I thought he would beat Robbie Lawler, and I thought he would get Robbie Lawler down on the first, and I wasn't surprised when he took Robbie Lawler down in the first. I was not surprised at all. However, it would surprise me immensely if he can take down Usman in the first, and that's why I think Kamaru Usman will win round 1. I think Kamaru Usman will win round 1. Now, let me fast forward to round number 5. And I'll tell you why I'm having such a hard time picking. I think, by the way, guys, I think this fight goes to decision. These two guys are not known for finishing. Okay? That's the one drawback on these fighters' records. They don't have any finishes. They have lots of wins. They have a lot of one-sided wins. They have a lot of great performances, but no finishes, no KOs, no submissions. They almost never end a fight in their entire career. I mean, they have ended a fight here and there, but not a notable finish. Not a finish against an elite top 5 fighter or top 10 fighter. Okay. Let's fast forward to round 5. Now, you guys might might be anticipating what I'm going to say. Now, the Colby Covington takedowns have a lot of chance to work. Why? Because if you're firing your machine gun, thousands and thousands of rounds, eventually one of them is going to land. And I think Kamaru is going to be slowed down by then. He's more explosive in his style. Whereas Colby Covington's more of a soldier, just marching you down, never taking a step back. Even when he eats a bad shot, he keeps coming forward and forward. And I think you're going to see him get a takedown in round 5. I think Colby Covington's round is going to be round 5. Now, what's going to happen in between that? Your guess is as good as mine. I'm thinking Usman wins round 1. Colby's going to win round 5. There are 3 more rounds up for grabs. I don't know. I could see Usman keeping this fight the whole way standing up until the 5th round. And then maybe getting pushed up against the fence and slowly breaking down and getting taken down. Now, I could also see Colby scoring a takedown in round 2, or getting close to Usman and firing him some body shots and overhand rights and kicking the leg and just being so aggressive with his strikes, so high volume. Because like it or not, Colby's a gutsy guy. I know a lot of people don't like the way he talks and all that, but I'll tell you one thing: he could take a shot and keep moving forward. If he took Robbie Lawler's shots and kept moving forward, he's going to take Usman's shots and keep moving forward. Now, of course, this is speculation. It's not 100% sure. I'm willing to venture. I'm willing to say that I think Colby Covington, when he gets hit, and he will get hit, he's not gonna bat an eye. He's gonna keep moving forward. He's got the guts. He's proved it. He's got the guts to go forward. That forward pressure, in my opinion, is gonna be a recipe for a victory. He's gonna have to. He's not gonna beat Usman on the outside, picking him apart from the outside. He's gonna have to march Usman down, and he's gonna have to hit Usman to the body, liver, ribs, sternum, diaphragm, leg. Those strikes are going to have to happen. He's not going to be able to hit Usman just by headhunting. But he knows this. Colby Covington knows this. He's done it in the past. He'll do it again. Now, Usman, I think can control the pace, fend off the takedowns, kind of play the sniper game. Control the pace, circle out, circle, jab, fire away, land that big right hand every so often. Don't forget, we're talking about a southpaw versus a righty here. He's got to land that right hand every so often. He's got to put Colby Covington on the back foot. He's got to back Colby Covington up, because if Usman finds himself against the fence, it's not going to be a great night. Now, does Usman ever find himself against the fence? No. Actually, if you think about it, neither one of these two fighters is ever on the fence. So a great indicator, in my opinion, about who's going to lose that night is the guy whose back is up against the fence. Who's that going to be? Well, in round 1, I don't think it's Usman. I think it's Colby. In round 5, I don't think it's Colby. I think it's Usman. Between rounds 1 and 5, I don't know. It's going to be up for grabs. It's going to be the battle. I'm giving this one a 50-50 fight. Now, let's move on to our next fight. I'm going to keep these shorter because I got to go to your comments and questions. Max Holloway, arguably the greatest featherweight of all time. In my opinion, I think it's still Jose Aldo. But hard to say. Debatable. Very debatable. And of course, guys, I know Max Holloway beat Jose Aldo, but he didn't beat Jose Aldo in his prime. Many guys beat Jose Aldo after Max Holloway did. Many guys, including his opponent, Alexander Volkanovski. Can Alexander Volkanovski beat Max Holloway? Guys, this is a tough one. I'm giving this one 51-49 in the favor of Max Holloway. And let me tell you why. This is a very difficult fight to call. Alexander Volkanovski, you guys know him. He's like an incredible Hulk. He's like short, explosive, strong, former rugby player, phenomenal athlete. Just beat Jose Aldo. He did a great performance against Jose Aldo. Actually fought a little bit differently than he usually fights. I don't know if he can keep up the pace that Max Holloway is going to put on him. And even if he takes Holloway down, I don't know if he holds Holloway down. I don't think he does. I think Holloway wins 3 out of the 5 rounds. 3 out of the 5. I don't think it's a total blowout. I don't think it's an easy fight by any means. But I'm assuming that Max Holloway is going to win the 3 rounds because he's a higher volume in punching. Higher volume in striking, I should say. Not just punching, but knees, kicks, elbows. Max Holloway is going to be hard to take down. He's going to be a little tougher to take down, and his volume, his reach, his athleticism, his 5-round experience, I think is going to beat Volkanovski. However, I could see Volkanovski taking this fight down to the ground and doing some major damage and stealing rounds. Standing up. We've seen Volkanovski land some vicious strikes, overhand rights, big left hooks. Against Jose Aldo, he didn't land any. He landed some nice strikes, but nothing devastating. He never knocked Jose Aldo down. He did a lot of nice kicking inside and outside of the leg of Jose Aldo. He beat Jose Aldo from the outside, which was actually very surprising to me because I wasn't expecting Volkanovski to fight that way. For those of you who are not as familiar with Volkanovski's shorter, much shorter. He's like 5'6", not a long reach, very muscular individual, very thick individual. And usually he's won his fights in the past by pushing people up against the fence, taking them down, throwing some vicious strikes, vicious overhands. He's a strong leg kicker as well, and great takedown guy, great ground and pound. I just don't think he'll be able to keep up the pace that Max Holloway will have on him. I think it's going to be a very, very difficult fight for both men, but I am giving the advantage to Max Holloway, 51-49. Okay, guys, and for the last fight, last title fight on this card, we have Amanda Nunez, Jermaine Randami. Guys, I have trained with Jermaine Randami many years ago. She came to TriStar Gym just passing by through Montreal. She came for a workout. Great fighter, great stand-up fighter. But in my opinion, that's what she does. She's a stand-up fighter. Now, we all know this is not a secret. Amanda Nunez, in my opinion, is a more powerful striker, and she's also a superior grappler, a black belt in judo and jiu-jitsu as well. So if Jermaine Randami makes one mistake and gets taken to the ground, she's going to lose that round. Now, Jermaine Randami is not totally unschooled on the ground. I'm not trying to make it like she's a fish out of water. She'll be able to protect herself, defend herself, in an average sense. However, she doesn't have the skill or experience that Amanda Nunez has on the ground. Standing up is a lot of trouble. On the ground is even worse. I'm giving this fight 60-40 for Amanda Nunez. Dangerous fight, of course. Jermaine Randami, very seasoned fighter, beat Holly Holmes. Questionable win. A lot of, for those of you who didn't see that fight, there was a lot of late strikes, dirty tactics. A lot of people complain about the dirty tactics, and a lot of people even thought that Holly Holm won that fight. If you take out the dirty tactics, I think it's probably a win for the unpunished dirty tactics, I should say. And maybe a win for Holly Holm. Again, that I'd have to rewatch that fight. That's all speculation. I haven't looked at it, and everybody has so many opinions on this. It's a very controversial topic. I still think Amanda Nunez is bringing a lot more to the table. As tough as Randami is, I think this is a 60-40 fight in the favor of Amanda Nunez. With that said, guys, let's go into your comments and questions, and let's see what you guys have to say or want to ask about this fight. Okay, so number one question here. I got number one question is from Ibrahim Lakhapal. Lakhapal asks, do you think Khabib could fight the winner of Usman versus Colby Covington? And if so, how do you see the fight going? Love the show. Thank you, Ibrahim. Appreciate that very much. Listen, I don't think Khabib will go up to welterweight because he's cleaning house at lightweight, and I think that's what makes sense for him. Would that ever happen? If he fought a welterweight, I think he'd probably fight George St. Pierre. That's who he wants to fight. He's verbalized it many times. Our side has verbalized it many times. If there's ever a welterweight fight for Khabib, I think it's like a legend fight or mega fight or whatever you want to call it fight. Khabib versus GSP, or even maybe at 165 there. I speculate they do a fight at 165. I think that would be the welterweight name he'd wanna tangle it up with. Banhos Parax asks, is Volkanovski's only path to victory against the fence? That's from Banho. Banho, I don't think so. If you look at his fight against Jose Aldo, he did put Jose Aldo against the fence, especially in the third round. And yes, he won that third round, absolutely. But in rounds 1 and 2, he did almost most of his work was done in the center of the ring. And yes, there was some clinching, especially in round 2, but not a significant amount. Not like he's done in the past. His fights in the past, he was more aggressive against the fence. I agree with you. That's why I was telling you earlier that I felt a little bit surprised when I saw him. His approach to fighting Jose Aldo was, hey, I'm going to sit back here and pick Jose Aldo apart from the outside, which is surprising because he doesn't have really the reach, but he showed he had the speed. Now, I'll tell you something about Jose Aldo. He is one difficult guy to take down. He has some very impressive takedown defensive skill. Way more, in my opinion, way more than Max Holloway. I think Max Holloway will get pushed to the fence more than Jose Aldo did, and will get taken down more than Jose Aldo did. Jose Aldo did not get taken down by Volkanovski, not even once. That didn't surprise me. I've seen Jose Aldo up front, close. I've seen guys try to take him down. Like, this guy has incredible takedown defense, and even when he does get taken down, His ability to spring back up to his feet is absurd. It's really good. Like, he's phenomenal. He's arguably one of the greatest takedown defense and ground prevention guys, get up guys I've ever seen. Max Holloway is not as good in that realm, but still very respectable in that realm. Hard to take down, and it's going to be hard to hold down. So I do expect Volkanovski in a 5-round fight to try to push it up against the fence, wear Max Holloway down, and take him down. Will he be successful? I think he will. He'll get some success, but not enough to win. Again, I was surprised that he didn't try to put Jose Aldo against the fence more often, but I'm not surprised that he didn't get the takedown. All right, let's see here. MMA Sports Master asks, who has the cardio advantage between Colby and Kamaru? I would say it's Colby Covington. Right now, I don't think it's even up for debate. The pace of Kamaru is a lot slower. Now, he's a vicious, aggressive fighter. Don't get me wrong. Don't misquote me and say I said he has a slow fight pace. I don't think he has a slow fight pace at all. He's a pressure fighter. But Colby's a straight-up berserker fighter. You know, he's berserker. Blitzkrieg, 100% blitz. It's just another level. Does that mean he's a superior fighter? No. I'm just saying, in terms of cardiovascular output, VO2 max, I would say Colby Covington has the advantage there. All right, what else we got here? Dedicated 1. This is a question from Dedicated 1. Usman versus Colby Covington. Who do you believe has the striking, wrestling, and jiu-jitsu advantage, and why? Striking advantage in terms of power and precision and distance, I would say Usman. In terms of volume and sheer toughness, I would say Colby Covington. In terms of wrestling, I would say Colby, if we're talking about straight wrestling. MMA wrestling, I say it's even. MMA wrestling, it's even. So if we're talking about a straight wrestling match, Colby. MMA wrestling, even. Dead even. Who has the better grappling? Again, I would say it's pretty even. Pretty even. What else we got here? Sabat. Usman looks way bigger than Colby. Do you think that will play a major factor for the outcome? Greetings from Germany. Sabat, greetings, my friend. Greetings from Canada. Is he way bigger? I think he's bigger. I don't know if he's way bigger. Will it make a difference in the outcome? No. I think they both belong in that weight class. I don't know. I think Colby's athleticism is just as high. It's just as good. So the size won't play that much of a factor. However, I do expect the reach to be a factor. The reach. So if you're talking about, is Usman going to be heavier on fight night? Maybe by a few pounds, but not by an immense amount. Do you believe, this is from Campfire Podcast. Do you believe Nunez will remain champion or have trouble with an outstanding Muay Thai champion? For those of you who don't know, Amanda Nunez's opponent, Jermaine Randami, is a Muay Thai champion, a very dedicated Muay Thai champion. I do believe, if I remember correctly, I don't know if I'm misremembering, but I believe she fought a man once as well in Muay Thai. I can't recall, but somebody please look that up. Do you believe Nunez will remain champion? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. If you're asking me my opinion, sir, I am telling you happily that I do believe she will remain champion. Robert Sella asks, do you believe Colby will have a disadvantage since he relies much more on pace to tire his opponent out than Usman? And he's never fought someone with similar cardio to him like Kamaru Usman. Well, Robert Sella, I wouldn't say that Kamaru is like a cardio machine. I would say he's more of a like a steamroller. You know, like he steamrolled his opponents. I don't think he's out-cardioed them per se. He didn't beat them by cardio. He beat them by outstriking them and slamming them on the ground and punishing them once he gets them on the ground and just crushing them when he gets them on the ground. So he's a very technical fighter. He's a very athletic fighter. But he's not a chain wrestler, wear you down, break you down, fire 101 maneuvers at you until you can't keep up with me and now you fell behind. Pressure fighter like Colby Covington. So I wouldn't say that Colby's meeting a guy with an equal amount of cardio. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that at all. Campfire Podcast. Again, very popular questioner, my friend. Which of the 3 title fights are you most excited and for why? And for excuse me, which one are you most excited for and why? I would say it is the main event, Usman versus Colby Covington. Why? Like I said earlier, it's a 50-50 fight. I have no idea. I really don't know what's going to happen in this fight. And those are the best fights. The fights where you just don't feel like you know what can happen. You're like, my mind is racing. I really want to see. The mind's boggling right now. You know, what's going to happen between these two. Don't forget to tune in. ESPN Plus, guys. That's where we're going to be watching this fight. All of us. We all know we're all tuning in. With Jermaine being more of a, this is from D, with Jermaine being more of a kick/Thai boxing style, and in my opinion is the bigger woman in the fight, and Amanda's style primarily boxing based to an extent, what do you think has the greater ability? Who do you think has the greater ability to win in this fight? Excuse me, gentlemen. Excuse me. Who has the greater ability in this fight to control the distance and use the ring generalship? Also, it was a long one. Oh, way too long. Who has the better distance control? I think Amanda Nunez. I think Amanda Nunez's punching ability is more powerful, so I agree with you there. She's more of a boxer. But have you seen her kicking ability? She knocked out Holly Holm with a vicious KO. Vicious KO head kick. That's power, my friends. That's vicious kicking power. She's got kicking power as well. I believe they both have great distance control. I think Randomy's going to clinch a little more. She's going to tie up a little more. But at the end of the day, I think Amanda Nunez is just too powerful standing. All right, guys. Some of them are really, really long. I think the extra long ones are more likely to get skipped. Dakota Hope. Hello, Faraz. I hope all is well. Question 1. Do you think Holloway will meet Volkanovski's pressure with his own and fight out in the center cage control? Or do you think Holloway will allow Volkanovski to control the center and instead strike from the outside and move around? No, I think Holloway is going to pressure. I think Holloway wants to try to get Volkanovski moving backwards. I think he's going to want a knee, elbow. He's not going to just sit there and jab and try to snipe. He's going to move forward. He's going to go down the warpath. I don't think his style is to sit back and snipe. I don't think he's really done that successfully in his career. Why would he start now? I think this is going to be a bit of a blood and guts fight. So I'll look forward to that. It's going to be an epic fight. Mohamed Voreje asks, both Usman and Colby Covington are excellent fighters. Even still, I'd favor current GSP over either of them. How did George manage to put this much distance between himself and competition? That's from Mohamed Voraji. Well, Mohamed, let me tell you one thing. George has been training since the age of 5. His father was a black belt, so he had high-level training at a young age. And he's been training his entire life. It's just a lifetime of training. And he's had many other great trainers throughout his career, other than me. And himself as an individual is a very hardworking, intelligent person. So you put all these things together, a guy who's been training his whole life, who's an open-minded individual, who's, traveled abroad to meet the best trainers in the world. I'm not mentioning myself here. I'm talking about like he's traveled to train, or he's brought in the best trainers in the world. Like he's really dedicated himself to learning the most he can about martial arts. And you couple that with a lifetime of doing that, there will be a point where you could beat anybody in the world. He's just a guy thirsty for learning, hardworking, and he's been training from the age of 5. So it's something very special. Coach, do you believe that Amanda Nunez still has the grappling advantage? Because in her first fight, she took JDR easily. Did they fight already? I don't know. I haven't seen that fight. Hold on, let me look that up. Did she fight Jermaine Randomly once upon a time? That's not out of the realm of possibility. It probably makes sense because there's not a lot of women in the MMA. So especially if it was a few years ago. Yeah, Jermaine Randomly won by TKO elbows in the first. There must have been a takedown in UFC. That was in 2013. Guys, they're meeting again. 2013, 6 years ago. Listen, I still have a funny feeling that her grappling is light years ahead of the Randomly. Light years. Okay? Sometimes when you go so deep in one martial art and you're not well rounded, it's hard to go back and be a beginner again and get your blue belt, your purple belt. You might never catch up. I have a feeling it's one of those. I think Amanda Nunez is going to have a major advantage. And thank you for highlighting that. I didn't know these women had fought in the past before. Interesting. Very interesting. Fahad Ashraf. Coach, talking about Usman versus Colby, what are the chances? Will the match most likely end by knockout of any player, submission, or decision? I think this is going to be a decision. This is the toughest fight either opponent has ever had. And in the past, they haven't finished lesser opponents. So how would they finish the toughest guy they're ever fighting? Both, and this is true for both men. This is not a knock on either man. This is, I have utmost respect for these guys. These guys, I admire them greatly. However, the one knock on their records is they don't finish. Why do so many fighters seem to be of Muslim faith? That's from Dedicated One. No, I think that's not true. I think it's very scattered, very varied. Emilio X, Coach Zahabi, who do you think is the better striker, Usman or Colby? I've already answered that one. How much? Hey, Coach, much respect from London. This is from OS. With such similar sets, what do you see the difference being for the title fight? Colby's conditioning, perhaps, the edge maker. How do you feel GSP would favor versus Usman and Colby, respectively? All the best. Well, prime GSP when he was in his prime, I would pick him 99 times out of 100. Today, he's not preparing for a fight. It will be, more competitive. However, if he were to get in shape and prep himself, I think he's still the greatest welterweight in history and present. Georgian's prime, I would pick him 99 times out of 100. What's the difference with these two fighters? Like I said, again, I'm not doing this live, so I'm picking this fight down the middle, 50-50. I don't see much difference. They have difference in style, but also different in striking style, but in wrestling style and grappling style maybe. But their skill set, like you said, are so similar. Okay, guys, I think, let me see how long we've been doing here. 31 minutes for ESPN Plus. This is the ESPN Plus special. I'm going to be doing a couple of more, and then I'm going to wrap it up. We have been way over time, but good. More content for you guys. Let me see what else we got here. We got some similar questions. I'm going to skip through those. Let me see what else we got here. Which of the 3 title fights sparks your interest the most? I said that it's going to be Colby Covington versus Kamaru Usman. That is the fight of the year. What do you think of Colby's gimmicks? Magas, nerds, etc. Like, you know what? I'm a big fan of his fighting. I'll pay ESPN Plus $79.99 or whatever the price is. I believe it's $79.98 or something like that. $48, $79, guys. I'm paying that $79 unless the people, the kind people at ESPN Plus want to send me a link. I'll tell you something. I'm a big fan of his fighting. I don't need the gimmicks. You guys need the gimmicks. I'm pointing at you. Well, maybe not the people tuning into this channel. But the truth of the matter is the guy's a very talented fighter. And even when he was winning fights, not a lot of people were tuning in. So I think he kind of said, you know what? I'm going to give the people what they want. Those gimmicks, I don't think are coming from in here, to be honest with you. I think they're coming from over here. He's saying, look, I got to play the market. I got to give the market what they want. I won my fights, and that's not what they wanted. They want me to win my fights, and they want me to entertain them. And he adapted. Again, I'm speculating here. This is nothing. I know. I've never talked to the man. I've never spoken to Colby Covington. I'm just speculating here. Okay, so don't go and don't misquote me, please. I think the guy said, look, this is the market, and I can do it, and it's going to come out right, and it's going to help my career, and he did it. I don't need it. Personally, I like watching him fight. I wish he could just be himself, and I will tune in. I'll pay that $79.99 or $79.48 or whatever it is. Okay, guys, I'm going to be doing 2 more questions. It is time to wrap this up. What else we got here? Let's see what else we got here. Please explain Fight IQ or your take on it. Fight IQ, guys, listen, you can have great skill. You can have really, really good takedowns. You can have really, really good punching. You can have really good grappling. When do you choose to use those weapons? That's Fight IQ. Do you shoot a takedown when you're tired, or are you smart enough to wait till you recover and set up a takedown? Yeah, you got a great double leg, but you're tired. You shot a double leg and you made things worse. Why? Because you shot a sloppy double leg and you were tired. You know that when you shoot a double leg, you got to be fresh. That's the kind of stuff that you learn by trial and error. And over the years, you learn not to make those kind of errors. Those are amateur errors. Those are errors you did when you were young. And today you realized, hey, when do I throw a punch? Do I throw the punch when the guy's walking towards me? Or do I wait when he's ready? He's still, and he's like perfectly still waiting for me to throw a punch. And then when I throw a punch, he counters me. You know not to throw a punch then. You know to throw a punch when a guy's stepping in or your opponent bit on a fake. Now you got a little window to throw that punch. That's fight IQ. That's all stuff. It's not mechanical. It's all the in-betweens. And this comes with self-reflection, studying fights, and of course, experience, trial and error, and practice. If Colby wins, this is from Nathan Wynn. If Colby wins and ends up facing Masvidal, how do you see that fight going? Thank you, coach. Keep up the good work. Listen, guys, I got to be brutally honest. I like Masvidal. If my heart's saying Masvidal, my brain is saying Colby Covington. Now, you guys know me. I got to go with the brain. I think Colby Covington will get that win. Why? He will get that fight to the ground. Now, I'm not saying it will be a blowout. I'm not saying it's an easy win, but I have a feeling in the 5-round fight, Colby gets the win. However, I will tell you this. In a street fight, no time limit, no interference, Masvidal all day long. Masvidal all day long. Excuse me. Why do I say that? Because Masvidal is only one of the two that can finish. Masvidal is the only one of the two that can finish. Sure, Colby can hold him down, score some points, drain the clock, hold him down, take him back down, stay stuck on him, impress the judges. But you can't do that for an hour. You can't do that for 2 hours, 3 hours. Sooner or later, you're going to get caught in the button, and it's going to be over. And who knows, with Masvidal, you can get caught in the first 5 seconds, first 10 seconds. You never know, especially with his strategy of flying knees. He can catch Colby with that. Colby's a smart kid, but he can catch him. It's still a possibility. However, I would see that fight getting taken down. Grappling, lots of getting back up, lots of sticky, Colby just being sticky, and doing it for 25 minutes. But I don't think he gets away with it for 45 or 1 hour. Eventually, one of those elbows, one of those knees is going to turn the tide, and then it's going to be all Masvidal. All right, guys, I'm going to do the last one. This was a fun episode. I want to thank you all for tuning in. If the 3 champs cards is the 3 champ card necessary to sell the fight? That's from Kid Louis. No, I would tune in for any one of these fights. Any one of these fights, in my opinion, is a mega fight. However, the UFC, ESPN Plus, they put this recipe together, and I'm tuning in. You're all tuning in. We're getting a triple decker. We're getting 3 mega fights on one card. Let's all be happy that we got such a great card. Fantastic. I will be tuning in. Thank you all for tuning in, and I will, like always, I will see you all in the next episode. Thank you.